Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's me Flipside. I hope you all are doing great. So as you could have seen in the thumbnail, the video thumbnail, this video is about ECU tuning and I'll explain the basic things of how an engine works and tell you how the ECU is tuned. So first things first, if you guys are here then you probably know how an engine works, but if you don't know, I'll let you know. So first things first, let me start off with a 4-stroke engine because I'm riding a 4-stroke engine bike, and let me start off with that. So there are 4 strokes, alright. One is intake, compression, power and exhaust. So there are 4 strokes, alright. There is something called as TDC, that is top dead center. The top dead center is actually the place where the piston is on top. I'll show you with an animation here. You can see this, alright. So that is the top dead center. So here is where the piston is there and then it comes down, alright. So when it comes down, there is something called as an intake valve. So there are 2 valves, okay. One is intake valve and one more is the exhaust valve. So the first thing is intake valve. So when the intake valve is open, there are 2 things that will happen. One is air is pushed into the engine, as well as fuel is also pushed into the engine, alright. So when there is air and fuel that is being pushed into the engine, the piston is there, right? From top dead center it is coming down, so it comes to the bottom. So bottom is basically, it is going to the bottom dead center, that is called BDC. So when the piston is moving from top to bottom, air and fuel is also coming inside and your piston is also moving down. Now when the piston is moving on top again, so this is the second stroke. The second stroke is called compression stroke. So when the compression stroke happens, the mixture, the fuel and air mixture is being compressed. So when this is being compressed, what happens is the next stroke, this is the second stroke, okay. Compression stroke is the second stroke. Then there is the third stroke that happens. When this is happening, the spark is igniting the fuel and air mixture, alright. When this happens, there is a loud blast inside the engine, so fuel and air will get burnt. So when this is happening, the piston also comes down because of this small spark and blast. So this is called the power stroke. So we saw 3 as of now. One is intake, compression, and then this is the power. So when this is happening, it gives power to the engine. Now all this air and fuel that is being burnt, it has to go out, right? So when it has to go out, what happens? The exhaust valve opens. So when the exhaust valve is opening, all the piston also moves on top. So when the piston is also moving on top, what happens? All the fuel, all the burnt air and fuel that is there, that is also coming out of the exhaust valve. So these are 4 strokes that happens in the engine. One is intake, compression, power, and then exhaust. That's about it. So if you guys have understood, please give it a like and do subscribe to my channel, alright. So if you need the best performance and efficiency in your vehicle, you need the right mixture of air and fuel. So this is called AFR, that is air fuel ratio. So AFR has a different chart itself, alright. So let me tell you in a basic layman terms. So if you have less fuel, then it's called a lean mixture and there will be no power and it causes overheating. Now if you have more fuel in the engine, it is called a rich mixture. The fuel efficiency will be extremely less and it's not going to make that much power as well. So the basic thing is, if you have like 1 gram of fuel, then you will need about 14.7 grams of air to burn it properly. That is like the basic thing that you will know, okay. Now then there is a table with AFR values. I'll put it up here, you can see it. And the left side is the engine RPM and top engine load. This keeps changing all the time in the ECU, alright. So that is where the ECU is going to be remapped. So when you remap all of this, let's say the air fuel mixture, all of this, if you try to fiddle with it, that's when you start making more power in the engine. This is the basic thing that you will want to know about what an ECU remap is. So the next thing is something called as ignition timing. That in layman terms is when the spark happens, alright. So when this happens too late, then there is no power at all. And when this happens too soon, then there will be engine damage. This air fuel ratio is air fuel mixture, how much air and fuel needs to enter the engine to make more power. All these values are fiddled with in the ECU. The ECU is like the brain of your bike, alright? Bike or car, whatsoever it is. Anything that has an ECU in it, that's the brain. If that is being fiddled with, only then your vehicle will make more power or make flames come out of your exhaust. Anything that you try to do will be done only there, alright? Let's say if you are putting a new air filter, let's say some air filter which is like a KNN or a BMC air filter. Now once you put that, there is more air coming into the engine, correct? Because it's a free flow intake. Now when there is more air into the engine, you need to remap the ECU telling that there is more air in the engine now and I need more fuel. So that's when it tries to make more power in the engine. So this is like the basic thing that you can get your bike or car remapped, and that is the simple thing that you could do, alright? So if you want to know more about this, or if you have more queries on this, you can ping me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is leftside2626, which is there on the bottom side left corner. And yeah, that's the only thing that I can say right now. If you have any more queries, you can feel free to comment down below. And yeah, that's the basic thing and the most simple thing that I could probably explain to you guys. If you guys have understood, please give it a like, share, and also subscribe to my channel. That's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I really appreciate everyone watching this video up until here. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.